Hello everyone, Tanak here. Welcome to episode 102 of Building My Industrial Empire in EVE Online. So let's start with the progress report. As you can see, my net worth plus that of the corporation is now at 227 billion HISK. If you compare to last week, it's a little climb of about 2 bill. And you can see here on the chart. Part of that was Tanak shredding, and the other part was basically corporation income minus expenses. So I would say pretty stable, small progression. We did have some expenses this week, which I will explain a little bit later in the video. So that's it for the progress. Now let's go into HR. You can see that the corporation is now at 369 member. Nice. That's +4 compared to last week. Again, no big change this week. Some recruitment, some new members, some just attrition. Which happen. All in all, like slow progress week after week, pretty uneventful on the HR part. Now, I was talking to a group that was interested in joining, which would have been about around 10 other pilots at once, but they ended up choosing to stay in ISEC. I know that the null step is a little big for some people. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to convince them, but we'll see next time. I bear them no ill will. Any acting CEO, when there's joining other group like that, they have to look at what they think will please their member, which is your first job as a CEO, is taking care of your member. So I mean that's okay. This stuff happened. So we're still on very good terms with these guys. So eventually, if they decide that they do want to make the move to null, WOMP will be there for them. So that's it for HR. Our online number are still holding pretty good. If you look here, you see that we're at 72 online active member, which is again pretty decent. We're orbiting like between 70 and 80 depending on the day. So that's it. There's no big change on that part. Now politics, something did change a little bit in Catch. We got the last high hub we were missing in QTAC-S. We were waiting for a good opportunity to flip that high hub, and it happened this week. Because we had to unanchor that jump bridge, and we knew we weren't gonna use it for a short while, for at least a few weeks. So it was the best time to flip that high up. We did the flip without any major incident, and we had the team ready to crank up the ADM back again right after. So we already secured the system, which is pretty good. We did also bought a few structure that were there. So we are at the point where we currently own all the POCOs, all the high hub, all the TCU, all the good moons in our area, which is the second time it happened in WOMP's lifetime. The first time we owned everything in one area was in Pureblind. Now it is fully owning your constellation. There's a little how I'd say, I was explaining, like a little pride in being master of your own home totally, and seeing your little little sign or your little logo everywhere in system, it does feel great. So that's pretty much it for the political part. That was a very good week for that for us. Most of the guys were pretty happy that we did get to that part. Again, I'm not thinking we're not aiming to claim any more space. We can, at least in the space we have now, fit double those numbers. As you see, our BRM is like above 150, above 140 everywhere. Many system above 150. This one here 161. So we do got like real good riding space, and they can very well support our current number, and we can grow in that space. So there's no rush into trying to expand. We're at a place where we're comfortable, we're getting good content, we're getting good space to rat. So all in all, life is good. Nothing to complain about here. On the war part, there was no major push in the WOM constellation this week. There was a battle right next door in 3L3 in Tenerife. Flying Dangerous has been trying to anchor an Athanor, an Astra House here on the gate here for, I think it was 4th or 5th time they tried, and each time Imperium is forming to deny them, and they did form again that time, and there was a big battle. Wrecking Crew did go and also shoot at fire because there was a fight against fire, so we did kind of jump in the fight. This is the battle report. It did turn out with more than 60 billion ship kill to anchor an Athanor, and it's not the first time there's a fight on that thing. It's like, all in all, I think that this Athanor, trying to anchor that Athanor, probably generated more than 100 bill worth of ship if you count all the try they did there. They did finally manage. Fire did manage to win that timer though, so. It had a cost, but they did win the objective, so good for them, I would say. But that's the one big fight that WOMP was involved in this week. Pretty big, which was a pretty big fight. We do have like those occasional fights. This is the one that were like most representative of stuff that we have on a small gang part, where Flying Dangerous came to try to roam our space with around 11 guys. We flash form Feroxes to counter them, and that fight turned in our favor. So, but I'm not putting that one specifically because that one turned in our favor, but it's just a big most representative of the stuff that will happen on a day-to-day basis, and I mean that's good content too. So those small gang fight like that are pretty good. Again, it's hard to like, did we blob them or not? I mean, they're in our space, so we're gonna form with something that can engage them. But I think I felt that at this point, probably both FC were thinking that this was engageable. I wasn't there personally for that one. I did personally. I didn't play that much this week. Mostly like late night. I'm working a lot at work. We're doing some big projects, so I do get off of work very late, and then I can take my kid to their class and like all their activity. I play taxi at night, and I get home later at night to actually start playing. So I don't get into as much fight as you'll see if you look at my character, which was not a good week. I got like 14 kill, and I actually lost 2 ship, but it was just a Velator in a pod. So all in all, I personally didn't see that much action, but the Corp did. And I did put another one, which is just a kill mark, not a battle report, where we saw a rattlesnake moving through our pocket. Obviously, this is a very juicy target. when we do see stuff like that, we initially thought that it must have been bait. Like Wormhole Group will try to put those juicy targets, knowing that that we will try to engage, and then be ready to counter with groups of their own. But for rattlesnake, we were saying, oh, might as well, we'll bite and we'll try, and it did end up being a good kill for us. It doesn't always work. There was an Hyperion today that wiped a bunch of our guys while we were trying to engage him because we weren't as coordinated as we could have. But all in all, these like these trophy kill like this, they're always fun. What else? Well, that's pretty much it for war. All in all, we did get a pretty decent week with 54% dangerous, so better than our average, than our all-time average. Now, so that's pretty much it. Now looks like the guy we're fighting as I am recording this, and okay, yeah, I think they went on a roam. Anyway, so again, yeah, if you look at the kill board, you'll see that's been an average week. We did get one big loss this week, which somebody from our corp undocked a carrier and trying to use it as a distraction to protect the Loki. The Loki was saved, but as the person didn't know the mechanic, they had like that person was coming back to the game, and they weren't all that familiar again with the mechanic of the carrier, so they did manage to lose that chip. Where, let me find that kill. So anyway, what happened is the person undocked the carrier, and they, at that same time, you had a group from ISEC Miner, a very organized group that was in system, and that managed to tackle the carrier and finally blap it. And it was a period where we didn't have that many people in system that could react, from what I was told. Again, that happened when I was at work, so I'm not like on my phone all the time to follow that. But it was a very well organized group that happened to have wormhole access to the space, and it wasn't. I mean, it's a mistake. Stuff happened. People will do that. I mean. These kills happen. It's not the first time. It's not the biggest loss we've had, and it is. I mean, it's sad for the player, but all in all, something like that, we're gonna have her back and make sure that she's not in any desperate situation. And I mean, the only thing you can do when you lose something in Eve is analyze what happened, learn from it, and make sure it doesn't happen again. That's the sad truth of that. If you learn everything from every death you get, at least you become a better pilot and you lose less stuff. So not much I can say about that one. So that's pretty much it for the fighting. Again, good week, good fun all around. Some kills, some loss, some interesting stuff. Big progression on our part. Big progression on the industry, where we got access to our own R64 now. So I think we're pulling a total of 8 or 9 moon now in the pocket. So you get pretty moving forward, growing slowly, so one step at a time, taking it 1 week at a time, and the member are having fun, which is the most important thing in all of that. Personally, Tenak, where I'm at this point, you can see that I'm at 64.6 million SP, training heavy drones. Again, I'm pushing to become a better combat pilot. I just trained into a tactical destroyer, so I can now fly a Boucher. I haven't got one yet. I need to go purchase one. Which was actually what I was going to do when I lost my Venator, and I wasn't paying attention. When you're flying in a small ship like this that you know is worth nothing, I just didn't do the. I did the mental math that I wasn't gonna be careful because I didn't care if I got shot. Then, most of the time it pays because you just go faster like this, but this specific time I lost a Venator, which is mostly annoying because it put some red on my kill board, but that's pretty much it. It doesn't impact my wallet, none at all. So anyway, I'm completing my heavy drone. Heavy assault missile, like the rest of that stuff is just like filler there that I'm not really planning on training. I'm not sure where I want to go after that. Combat probing, maybe. We'll see. I mean, I'm getting at a point where I can fly most of the ship I want to fly. So I'm just dumping skill in there, not really knowing where I want to go with there. I'm not putting more point into industry because, again, even though it's named Building My Industrial Empire, my personal interest in industry has dropped a lot. I run an industrial corp. I understand what the guys are doing, and I am very committed to providing them with the best way possible to do industry. But I personally don't do that type of gameplay anymore. So people keep asking me industry questions. It's like, okay, I know because I've studied the supply chain for a lot, but I just, in my personal view right now in the state of the game, is just that industry is just not worth it. So, but and not just that, but it does get like, you eventually get to a point where when you get to understand combat a little bit better, when you get to just be aware of what's happening in space a little more, you get to enjoy that type of gameplay too. So that's it. I mean, I will fly a mining ship occasionally. I will mine occasionally, but that's pretty much it at that point. Again, the little amount of time that I have to play, little amount of time depending on who you are, is I do play like a few hours every day, but it's mostly late night, and I don't want to just like log in and start to have to analyze like what I'm gonna build, it's just too much work. So I just come, I rat, I shoot idiots in the pocket, and that's pretty much my gameplay for now. And if there's a coalition pick, I'll form up and play that, which is cool. It's what I want to do, and it does suit my need for now. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Sorry if it wasn't like a big week of a big drama in the pocket. This is just slowly moving forward, slowly progressing. And I mean, there's week like that in the game, which will happen. So all in all, hope you guys had fun, and see you next week. Bye bye.